In my previous video, I showed you how we can install Active Directory Domain Controller on Windows Server 2022 Core Edition. When we try to change the network settings, however, there was an error message that I did not notice at that time. I thought when you reboot the server, that error message will go away and the network settings will get updated. However, it turns out it is a bug with the Windows Server 2022 Core Edition that Microsoft Windows have yet not fixed the issue with a patch. So I'm going to show you what it is before we move forward so that you have an idea about what I'm talking about. So if you go to the option number 8, which is the network settings, and if I press enter, and in here what we are trying to do is change the IP address of one of our network adapters. In my case, it's going to be the index number 1, the IP address 192.168.1.29. I want to change that to a static IP address 192.168.1.4. So if I pick the option number 1 in here, and it'll give me a set of options right here. And what we are interested in is set network adapter address, which is 1 again. And we're going to do a static IP address. So we're going to enter S in here and press enter. And when I enter 192.168.1.4 and subnet mask 255.255.255.255.0 with the default gateway 192.168.1.1, and when I press enter here, I get an error message that is failed to release DHCP lease result code 83. Right here, the failed to release DHCP lease result code 83. This is a bug with the Windows Server 2022 Core that has yet to be patched. Now there is a workaround for this, and I'm going to show you how you can still change the IP address of this network interface when you get this error code. First thing we're going to do, we're going to exit out of this window by pressing enter. And then we will pick the option called option number 15, exit to command line PowerShell, because we need to go into the PowerShell to enview PowerShell Cmdlets that will allow us to change the IP address. So we're going to select the option number 15 and press enter. And in here, we are going to use few cmdlets to force change the IP address and bypass that fail to release DHCP lease issue. We are going to use the cmdlet Get-NetAdapter. So Get-NetAdapter. What that's going to do, it's going to list your network interface cards and its aliases. So right here on this table, if you look at the most left hand side, the Ethernet 1 and Ethernet 0 are two aliases. So for me, I know what I'm trying to change is the Ethernet 0, this one. But if you're not sure which interface that you are trying to change the IP address, you can also use the ipconfig/all command, and that will list all your network interface cards, its associated current IP addresses, as well as the MAC address. So as you can see, I'm interested in Ethernet 0 and MAC address ending 90. And if you look at on the ipconfig/all, you can see right here the MAC address ending 90 have an associated IP address of 192.168.1.29 as current default IP address. Now we would like to change this to 192.168.1.4 and bypass that DHCP release issue, right? The bug. To do that, what I'm going to do, I'm going to remember this alias name, because we will need that to do this operation. And then I'm going to enter this command to force remove the IP address. That would be remove-NetIPAddress space dash InterfaceAlias space. Now the interface name is the interface alias. So basically if you type in here Ethernet 0, that's going to be our alias. Why? Because when you type this command Get-NetAdapter, we can see the Ethernet 0 is the one that we are trying to change. We also confirm that with the ipconfig/all, we can see the Ethernet 0 is associated with that MAC address, and that's the one we are trying to change. So this interface alias is the Ethernet 0, and we're going to put space -confirm, and we're going to put colon with then $false. So remove-NetIPAddress space -interface alias space your Ethernet interface alias name here. So mine, it is Ethernet 0 -confirm colon $false, and then we're going to press enter. What that's going to do, it's going to force release this IP address associated with this particular interface. Now we can assign a static IP address to that interface. So to do that, I'm going to type new dash net IP address space. Now again, we're going to need that interface alias. So we're going to put dash interface alias space. We're going to put Ethernet 0 because that's my interface alias name for that particular interface, space -IP address. And the IP address I'm interested in is 192.168.1.4 space, and then we need to give it the prefix length. So the prefix length is basically 255.255.255.0, but we're going to use the side annotation that's going to be /24 for this situation. So it's going to go prefix length 24, which would be 255.255.255.0. And if you don't know what are side annotations and what are prefix lengths, etc., I have already done a comprehensive lectures or several lectures on this under CCNA. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and watch my CCNA lectures. And for now, we're just going to put 24 because it's 255.255.255.0 associated with 192.168.1.4, and we're going to put space in here, and we're going to give a default gateway by putting dash default gateway. So it's going to be default gateway space, and we're going to assign the default gateway. So it's going to be 192.168.1.1 because that's the default gateway I'm interested in assigning to this particular machine. And we're going to press enter. What that did is it forcing the system right here to release the DHCP IP and assigning this IP address to that interface once that IP has now been released. So now it has 192.168.1.4 with the default gateway that we have assigned. And we can verify this by again running ipconfig /all. ipconfig/all, and right now if you go back to that interface with this physical IP address, you can physical MAC address, you can see the IP address now has been changed. So now we have 192.168.1.4 with the default gateway we just entered 192.168.1.1. There's a second default gateway here, that because I have entered a second default gateway. And in my next video, I will show you how you can remove default gateways using the Windows PowerShell. So that's how you can bypass the DHCP release issue, the bug, the fail to release DHCP release bug on Windows Server 2022 core. Again, you can also confirm this that has been changed by going into sconfig. So if you go back in here, if you go to network adapters, you can see the IP address has now been changed as well. Thank you so much for watching these tutorials. If you like this type of tutorials, make sure to thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And until next time, have a nice day.